In other personnel news, interstate moves for working military spouses should get a little easier following a bill signed into law by President Biden recently. The new measure requires states to accept the transfer of professional licenses from spouses after they make a required move, a bill aimed at easing the process for military families. For everyone from realtors to nurses, getting sent across state lines can create real-world problems, as different locations don't always accept out-of-state licenses. The provision, dubbed the Military Spouse Licensing Relief Act, has one exception. Law licenses are not included. The new law is set to be rolled out in the near future. Next up, the U.S. approved its latest round of military aid to Ukraine. The headline, 50 Bradley fighting vehicles armed with anti-tank missiles headed to the battlefield as soon as possible. A Pentagon spokesperson said the new aid would help bolster an already highly successful Ukrainian defense.
We will ensure Ukraine has both the equipment and the skilled forces necessary to sustain its efforts to push back on Russian aggression. We are also committing 4,000 Zuni aircraft rockets, which can be mounted on Ukraine's existing aircraft to engage air or ground targets. In the category of air defense, which is still a top priority for Ukraine, given Russia's ongoing missile attacks, we are committing RIM-7 missiles. These can be integrated into Ukraine's Soviet-era tactical surface-to-air missile systems. On the ground in Ukraine, we continue to see intense fighting during this winter, especially in the east around Crimea and Bakhmut. Ukrainian forces are showing an undiminished will to fight to defend their country. Ukraine will continue fighting through the winter with the backing of a large coalition of nations, and we continue to encourage allies and partners to make additional donations to bolster Ukraine's combat and air defense capabilities. The United States has now committed more than $24.2 billion in security assistance since Russia's full-scale invasion last February, and we will continue to support Ukraine for as long as it takes.
As you look at the U.S. and the international response by providing the equipment and, importantly now, the training that we're providing, it does afford Ukraine an opportunity to change the equation on the battlefield and gain momentum and not only defend their territory, but hopefully take back territory. And so this is part of that ongoing effort to support them in that larger campaign.
The latest tranche totaled $3.75 billion in support, including a range of weaponry and armored vehicles, along with nearly $1 billion in cash for Ukraine and European nations to buy U.S.-made weapons. The U.S. is also sending 155mm Paladin self-propelled howitzers for the first time, along with dozens of 105mm howitzers and nearly 100,000 rounds. The latest aid was welcomed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and came within days of a visit by high-ranking senators and members of the Armed Services Committee, Jack Reed and Angus King. And in related news, Ukrainian soldiers may travel to Fort Sill, Oklahoma to receive Patriot missile system training. That's according to a recent CNN report that says the training could start within days and last several months. Defense News reported last month that the U.S. would provide Ukraine a Patriot missile defense system as part of a package of military aid bound for Kyiv to defend against Russia's invasion. That announcement came as President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Washington, D.C. He had sought the Patriot system for months before his December trip. Finally, the Air Force released footage recently of a daring rescue from early 2022. In February of last year, a cruise ship hailed the 301st Rescue Squadron to help evacuate a patient. But with the ship some 600 nautical miles offshore, the mission was a difficult operation for the helicopter and air crews slated to carry it out. Requiring 2 refuels each just to get to the ship, the 2 HH-60G Pavehawk helicopters were able to make it to the scene, supported by a pair of HC-130J Combat King aircraft.